All right. Thought we could do a video today. So the reason I'm doing a video is I was watching the last one, which is really old. If you haven't seen the last video on this channel, it's a lot. It's a pretty loose video, just kind of a stream of consciousness video, and I wanted to add some things in a more structured way. Today we're going to be talking about social media, specifically kind of the system of social media, whether or not you can consider it to be, like inherently bad, or if it depends on how you use it. This will kind of we'll go over a few things. The prepared portion is kind of talking about the use of social media as a tool, and I guess we'll get right into it. The big question today is, is social media bad? Very, very broad topic. More specifically, is social media inherently bad? And I think the easy answer is no. Social media is not inherently bad. If you use social media in a way that is, casual sharing of, pictures from your life, and there's no really embellishments or anything like that, I think social media can be used as a great tool to stay in touch with friends. And, it can be argued that in this day and age, having social media is an advantage to a lot of people. With that being said, I think that, if social media is used in a way to manipulate people and to basically exploit people, I think that's pretty bad. And I only say this because I think the majority of people who kind of, let's say, create this elite class on social media, these people who are selling products, whether that be skin products or courses, like business courses and things of that nature, these people are engaging in, flat out manipulation. The attempt to convince or how do you say it? Change people's minds, control what they do, or get a certain outcome. And this form of manipulation is it's seemingly innocent. It's basically what advertising is. These people are employing new forms or new techniques of advertising to a new generation, and that generation happens to be on social media. But again, we're kind of saying, okay, social media is not inherently bad, but, in my opinion, if you're using it to manipulate people, that's pretty bad. It's tough, because part of me wants to say, oh, well, manipulating people is, and I'm not saying manipulate in this extremely evil sense, right? Like, people have this there's a connotation with manipulate that's like, oh, it's like Satan, which Satan probably, does manipulate people. But, just manipulate, like the attempt to control, the attempt to, convince, get someone to change the way they think about something, get someone to do something that you want them to do. So when we say that, there's so many different ways in which people are using, basically manipulation tactics on social media and in the real world, right? This is kind of a big can of worms when you start talking about the attempts on social media, to influence people and its moral connotations. You kind of have to, it basically begs the question, okay, so manipulating people on social media is bad. What about, when you half truth to your friend about what happened 2 weeks ago, or what you did when you were drunk, or you know what I mean? The attempts, the seemingly innocent attempts to manipulate people, day to day. I think there are some differences. truly successful, manipulation on social media and through advertising, I would think generally rely on two forms of manipulation. The first form of manipulation is what I like to call naturally, or like natural human instinct reliant manipulation. These are things, and tactics that hit deep, and they're very universal kind of qualities, like self-preservation, which most times kind of is or is manifested in fear, or something along those lines. Also, I mean, if you're talking about social media, for the guys, you gotta bring up the thirst traps. You gotta bring up the sexual stuff, because it kind of just shows you like the monkey brain basic simple human instinct and its effect on what's becoming popular on social media. I mean, in 2025, the owner or creator or whatever you want to call him of OnlyFans became a billionaire. You know what I mean? There were like 5 new billionaires in the United States in 2025, I'm pretty sure. And one of them was a guy whose business is entirely, down to the fucking definition, a business that is entirely reliant on the male, mostly, sexual appetite, which is just like, it's like eating, you know what I mean? So that's one type of manipulation that's used on social media that I feel like you wouldn't really try to do to your friend, at the bar. You wouldn't try to like manipulate your friend's natural instinct to self-preservation, or some of these other kind of very deep basic human instincts. So the second form is something a lot more common, I would say. It's just I call it, where is it here? Socially reliant form of manipulation. So it doesn't rely on these universal, like very core human instincts, like kind of this immediate self-preservation or fear or sexual desires, or like food, or it doesn't rely on anything like that. It's kind of a little bit more layered. For example, if you're going to, advertise a get-rich-quick scheme in America, you use American signals of wealth, right? Like a Lamborghini, and a girl, giving you a kiss who's 40 years younger than you, or something like that, where you look, these signals that are like, they're conditional based on where you are in the world, at what time, is going, at what time period is going on, so that's an example of something that's a little bit more socially reliant, form, is something that just kind of is on the, it's cultural, it depends on what country you're in, if it's effective or not, and a lot of it is a lot more fast-paced. It moves quickly, it's trendy, while the human natural instinct form of manipulation, or reliant form of manipulation, is a lot more universal. It's a lot more base, like the bottom of the pyramid, and then kind of the socially reliant form of manipulation is a little bit more layered with, trends and more social signaling, the separation really isn't that important, but I think it helps to understand that, there can be one advertisement or social media personality in one area that looks entirely different to, this personality or this advertisement in another area, and they can both be doing the same thing because of the cultural differences. Which I don't know really why I bring these up. I just think there's a really big distinct difference. That's what I think, is there's a huge distinct difference between something that is like trying to tap into like the deepest part of your brain and make you scared or make you hungry versus something that's a little bit more kind of like trying to convince you that you need this product because it's going to signal to people that you look rich or that you're intelligent or that you're basically superior, which is kind of the basis of a lot of the social stuff is signaling that you're this archetype of person that is elevated, or you are a member in this this group that you're invited into. You're a part of the group. I've sold Indiana University vintage clothing for the past 6.5 years, and I will tell you, it is, this is a really cliche and corny thing to say, but like when they write about this period of time in 200 years, they'll look back at, football and basketball and all these things like they did the Colosseum. And it's almost like I don't know, it's weird. It's weird because everybody has to be wearing red. You're wearing these symbols, and then you go and you do like chants in unison. You know what I mean? If an alien fucking came down, it would be really weird. And we say, well, why is everybody wearing red? Why is everybody wearing these symbols? It's because you are identifying, identifying yourself. You're signaling to other people that you're part of the group. You're in the group. And, I guess maybe it feeds into this human desire to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself, which, I mean, that's one of the big ones, I would say. I mean, you can chalk up a lot of people's decisions, in my opinion, to, the desire to be something or be a part of something that's greater than themselves. And I think that happens on the individual level too, in the sense of like, okay, maybe you're not doing it to be a part of something bigger than yourself, but you're doing it to identify yourself as someone who's just better. Maybe. I mean, this is all very, very kind of out there shit. And I am losing track a little bit. But I can't do this. I can't do, I'm writing, and then I come and I'm just like reading off the paper. That just seems so stupid, and I honestly can't do it. I lose it. I lose the connection. Well, basically, I'm trying to think. We're going through this idea. Okay, manipulation is. Well, and again, it's not just manipulation. I think this is the thing, because I'm hesitant to say that creating an advertisement on social media is evil. Obviously, I will be hesitant to do that because that's part of my business plan. But more what I mean is I'm hesitant to say on an individual level that these are acts of evil, right? That the individuals who are creating advertisements are by and large, committing acts of evil or, wrongdoing. But you can obviously see from the outside how massive amounts of, advertising attempting to manipulate people into thinking certain ways about products that they don't need or God knows what. You know what I mean? These products that are going to make you fucking beautiful and shit like that. You can see how an influx, a flood, a massive amount of this advertising and this programming can make people fucking sick. You know what I mean? You can see it. I mean, you can see it from just TV ads. And this is the thing. This is the fucking crazy part, is that we went from like TV, which had advertisements on the side, to now almost social media. Almost every single video that you see from like large creators and professionals, which is the majority of stuff that you'll see on your feed, from what I understand, is like an ad or a money grab in itself. It's almost like we're only watching ads in a weird way. Even like a meme page or something stupid like that is, if you see it a lot, it's probably a monetized platform. It's probably making money, and this is where it gets fucking crazy. They're making money when you spend more time watching the shit, watching the phone, watching their videos. This is where you get into the argument that social media is inherently bad. It's not in the user or the advertiser themselves. It's in the design of the app. And the design of the app is, I mean, fucking straightforward as I can be. Get people addicted to the phone and promote the content that gets people addicted. You wonder why people, this is, I mean, it's fucking crazy. So that's where you kind of get into this, okay, this is bad. This is inherently bad because of the design. The people who have designed this have made it to be addictive, because that's how they make more money. They make more money when more people spend more time on their app, basically by fucking any means necessary, right? Look, there are restrictions. But the trickery, the manipulation, the bullcrap that is out there is incredible. And the only reason it's out there is because it works. It's a reflection of, and I don't want to sound negative here, how fucking stupid we are. I mean, dude, maybe it's just me because of my cell phone addiction, and I'm lashing out at this system because I struggle with wasting fucking time on the phone. But it's crap. And at the same time, I'll fucking be on it. And it's like, dude, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird system. And the design is so obviously just like almost worse than theft. It's designed to steal people's time. And the main people who are struggling with phone addictions and wasting time on the phone are people in the prime of their lives. That's fucking evil. I don't give a shit. Look, that is evil. The design aspect to get people to fucking sit on the phone and swipe and all this stuff, bro, that is unbelievably evil. It's theft. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's almost worse than theft. And I'm not saying from a legal perspective. Obviously, these people have the right to, create whatever they want. The free market, So maybe, that's kind of the thing. Is you say, oh, well, is social media inherently evil? And you go, well, you can use social media in a innocent and pure way, obviously. Do most people use social media in an innocent and pure way in the way that they post? I'd say no. I think it's all a massive fucking delusion. And that's kind of where you get down to like, okay, why is social media, why is manipulation, these techniques we talked about, why is this really bad? Why is the manipulation on social media a bad thing? And it's because it moves people further from truth. It moves people further from reality. And it creates, a society that is just simply further from the truth, further from reality, further from agreeing with each other. I think that's a big part of it. There's so many things that are wrong with moving people further away from the truth. And the truth is, no matter what you fucking buy on Instagram or TikTok shop, it's not going to make your life any better. And you'd think me sitting here and saying that is, duh, right? Big duh, right? But I mean, I'd be so interested to see the percentage of the United States economy that is based on this idea that's been implanted in people's heads through advertisement, through manipulation, that if they buy shit, it's going to make them better in some sort of way. It's incredible. And we can only look and say, why do people believe this? Because at any point, for any person, you can look and ask them and say, hey, does buying a fucking hoodie on TikTok Shop make your life better? Or give you something that just is good? And they say no. But it's still something that is happening. It makes sense, obviously. But it has a lot more to do with the messaging and the lessons that people are learning from content and media and advertisements than it does about the truth. And I'm not saying this is some fucking cataclysmic event with social media, right? I don't think that what's happening on social media is new, right? Right, that would be a stupid claim, is that this sort of, strategy of manipulation, advertising, control, influence is a brand new thing. I think it's been going on forever. Obviously, the creation of like the radio and like the spread of like radio usage and TV usage and all these things, it's created a whole new avenue for this sort of stuff. But it's been going on forever. The attempt to influence and manipulate, people on an individual level, on a mass scale. But I do think, and similar to the Holocaust, social media is mass influence and attempt to control in a scale that's never been seen before. Just like in World War II, right? It's not that people never fucking hated each other and wanted to kill each other before World War II. It's that society had progressed to a point where the technology just fucking, it was like something we had never seen before, and so destructive past, the level that we had ever seen before. And I think that's what social media is. It's the Holocaust of influence peddling, not influence peddling, the attempt to control people, advertising, whatever you want to call it, right? That's what it is, and I don't mean to say that it's like, as bad as all, you know what I mean? It's just an analogy to say that, society has progressed to a point where there's almost like this breakthrough in the ability to, attempts to influence people and advertise to them. And people are consuming this type of content more than they ever had. Do you think fucking people watch TV for, 22-year-olds watch TV for 8 hours a day in fucking 1972? That's basically what we're doing. A lot of us, I'll speak for myself. I'm addicted to my phone and I hate it. But yeah, I hope this is a good video. I hope this was recording. This was supposed to be very structured and it's not, but it's okay. So, hope you guys loved the video. Fucking text me if you like what I did, or comment on the video if you don't know who I am. But yeah, have a good one.